Since the 1970s, the United States has spent over $1 trillion fighting drugs. $1 trillion. Meanwhile, in Mexico, more than 130,000 people have vanished due to cartel-related violence since 2006 alone. And just recently, in February 2026, American intelligence helped Mexican special forces take out the most wanted cartel leader in the world. You'd think this would be a breaking point, right? But it's not. The cartels are actually stronger, richer, and more technologically advanced today than at any point in history. Why? Because we keep thinking of them as chaotic street gangs. They aren't. They operate as highly structured, multi-billion-dollar multinational corporations. Welcome to The Explainer.
To really wrap our heads around how this machine works, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a brand new recruit. We're going to chart a path from the absolute lowest rung of the hierarchy all the way to the top. See, every time someone asks, how do we stop the cartels, they are honestly asking the wrong question. The right question is, why do they keep winning?
And the core thesis of this explainer is pretty simple. Not a gang, a business. This is a cold, highly calculated industry built on blood, corruption, and pure economics. In so many places, cartels fill the void left by weak governance, providing security and resources where the state just doesn't. Once you realize it's basically an economic system designed to exploit extreme poverty, the terrifying efficiency of the whole thing just starts to click into place.
So here is our roadmap for today. 1. Entry level. 2. Middle management. 3. Executives. 4. The kingpin. And finally, 5. The inevitable end.
Section 1. Entry level. Expendable and cheap. Picture this. You're a 15-year-old kid sitting on a plastic chair outside a convenience store. You're a lookout. You make $100 a week in cash literally just to text a warning when the military rolls by. Now, why on earth would a kid do this? Well, in early 2025, youth unemployment in Mexico was hitting 4.8%. That's almost double the national rate. And of the youth who do have jobs, nearly 60% work in the informal sector, with zero stability. In parts of Mexico City, a formal job pays about 8,900 pesos a month. Informal, half that. So when cartels slide into a struggling teenager's TikTok or encrypted chat offering way more cash, it stops looking like a moral choice. It's just basic arithmetic.
Now, if you survive being a lookout, you might graduate to level 2, the transporter. You're 18. You meet a guy at a gas station, and he tosses you the keys to a semi-truck loaded up with watermelons. Only problem? There's 500 kilograms of meth welded into the floorboards. You've got an 8-hour, sweat-inducing drive from Sinaloa to Tijuana. Get pulled over? You're looking at 20 years in a cell. But if you make it, you pocket $3 grand. For a young guy whose family is getting crushed by poverty or local extortion, making more in a single afternoon than his parents make in a year is an offer he literally cannot refuse. But here's the brutal reality of entry-level cartel work. When you inevitably get a little sloppy or you just get unlucky and get caught, your cartel doesn't send a legal team. They don't care about you. They just find a new driver. This entire economic system is explicitly built to consume young men and spit them out. At this level, you are completely, utterly expendable.
All right, moving up the ladder, Section 2, Middle Management, Enforcing the Plaza. This is where you become a Level 3 collector or a Level 4 cell leader. And the income jump here is just absolutely staggering. A lookout scrapes by on $400 a month. A collector grabbing the monthly tax from taco stands, pharmacies, and nightclubs, they can pull in $6,000. But a cell leader managing 10 guys and 100 kilos of cocaine? You're pocketing 10% of that. That is $50,000 to $100,000 a month. When you see numbers like that, it explains exactly why young men eagerly take on the insane risks of open warfare.
But that payday comes with immense pressure. As a cell leader, you are basically managing pure chaos. You've got regional bosses breathing down your neck for more money and a crew of unpredictable subordinates to keep in line. Discipline usually means a beating or a bullet. And it is absolutely crucial to understand here, the violence isn't a side effect of the business. The violence is the business. It's how you enforce compliance and wipe out competition. Look at the two biggest players right now. The Sinaloa cartel operates almost like the old Sicilian mafia, calculated, targeted violence. On the flip side, the CJNG is all about overt brutality and deliberate spectacle, burning vehicles, attacking military convoys, shooting down helicopters. And the truly terrifying part, both models work.
Which brings us to Section 3, Executives, Millions, and Paranoia.
At Level 5 as a regional operator or Level 6 as a plaza boss, you're not running a street corner anymore. You're running entire states. You're generating $20 million a month. You're managing cocaine from Colombia, precursor chemicals from China, and a massive logistical network of submarines and drones. And I'm not kidding about the drones. In fiscal year 2025, U.S. Customs tracked nearly 35,000 drone flights just along the border. That's about 95 a day. The CJNG even has a dedicated drone operators unit responsible for dozens of lethal attacks. They're recruiting former Colombian special forces straight off TikTok. In July 2025, it was revealed they even sent operatives to the Russia-Ukraine battlefield specifically to master FPV drone warfare and bring those tactics back to Mexico. You are literally running a high-tech rogue military.
But here is the executive paradox. On one hand, you're making $1 million a month and commanding 500 men. On the other hand, you live in a golden cage. The paranoia is eating you alive. You literally can't go to your own daughter's birthday party because snipers might be waiting. The DEA is tapping your phones, ambitious guys in your own crew want your job, and you're sleeping maybe 4 hours a night. You end up executing your own men on mere suspicion.
Section 4. The Kingpin. Billion-dollar bounties.
Level 7. The Cartel Leader. You're essentially a phantom moving 100 tons of cocaine a year, acting as a de facto government across multiple states. And your net worth? $3 billion. But take a second and think about what that money actually gets you. It buys you a life constantly on the run. You've had so much plastic surgery that your own kids don't even recognize you anymore. You're swapping safe houses every 3 days. All those billions, and you can't freely spend a single dime of it in the real world.
That is the ultimate cost of the crown. You've got a $10 million US bounty on your head. You're actively being hunted by special forces. But the scariest threat? It's from your own people. You see, retirement at this level is a death sentence. You know way too much. If you try to walk away, your own organization will kill you just to protect themselves. You're the most powerful criminal in the hemisphere, but you are completely, hopelessly trapped.
Which brings us to Section 5, the inevitable end.
In this corporate structure, there are no golden parachutes. There's no peaceful retirement on a beach in Cabo. There are only 2 guaranteed exits. One is a shallow grave in the desert. The other is Level 8, the Supermax prison cell. Places like ADX Florence. We're talking 23 hours a day in total suffocating isolation. No windows, no cellmates, no guards to bribe. Former billionaires spend the rest of their natural lives staring at 4 concrete walls, with absolutely nothing to do. But think about the massive ocean of blood they spilled to get there. It is a grim, hollow end to a life spent chasing power.
But here is the real tragedy of it all. Level 9, the successor. The cartel doesn't die when the kingpin falls. Right now, a national analysis estimates that between 145,000 and 250,000 children in Mexico are at risk of cartel recruitment. When the guy at the top goes down, the cycle just instantly resets. Someone new steps up, the product keeps moving, and there's always another 15-year-old kid sitting outside a convenience store taking his first $100 to watch the road.
So I'll leave you with this. If this massive machine instantly replaces every single gear, from the entry-level driver all the way up to the billionaire CEO, can we ever truly dismantle the business just by arresting the people in it? Until we fundamentally change the economics, the cartels have a business model that works. Thanks for watching this explainer. If this breakdown helped you wrap your head around the brutal mechanics behind the headlines, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives. Catch you next time.